Did you know that 1 in 4 people fail their private pilot check ride? That is a horrible failure rate. And if you don't want to be one of them, stick around because in this video, I'm going to share with you the very best way that I know of to know in advance exactly what you can be tested on, as well as where to find the answers to all the questions. Hey there, my name is Trent, and I am the #1 fastest pilot to go from private pilot's license to a job offer with a regional airline in just under 15 months while spending just under $50,000 on my flight training in the process. And to help you do the same, I've created the guide to accelerated flight training, which you can learn more about by a link in the description below. So when it comes to acquiring the knowledge and skills needed to earn your private pilot certificate, the FAA provides students with a document called the Airman Certification Standards, or ACS for short. This is a freely available document, and it is by far the most important study aid that you will have at your disposal. And if you don't use it, I can almost guarantee you that you're going to fail your check ride. How do I know? Well, because when I took my private pilot check ride, I didn't know what the ACS was, much less how to use it to prepare, and you guessed it, I failed my oral exam. When you open up the ACS, you will see that it is divided into tables like this one. There is one table for each of the 12 areas of operation that are a part of the certification standards. Here you can see that we are looking at area of operation number 1, pre-flight preparation. Now you can see Task A, pilot qualifications. To understand what these qualifications are, you're provided with these references. Beneath the references, you can see the objective of Task A. In each table, you will see a knowledge section, a section on risk management, and a section on skills. In each of these sections, you will see a list of tasks that are coded. The PA in this edition of the ACS stands for Private Pilot Airplane. The I stands for the area of operation, which in this case is pre-flight preparation. And the A identifies the first task, which in this case is pilot qualifications. So now that you've seen what's inside the ACS, let me add a few very important thoughts. Number 1, you should be using the ACS to help you prepare for both your written and your oral exam. Number 2, to succeed in your oral exam, it's important that you don't just memorize the stuff. Instead, you need to understand it, because in the oral exam, if your DPE starts asking follow-on questions, you're going to need to be able to answer them. And then number 3, when it comes to risk management, don't just rely on common sense. Instead, you can expect your examiner to specifically check how you incorporate these considerations into your flying. In my case, I would start my studying process by creating a blank Google document, and then I'd start by copying every table from the ACS into my Google document. Once I had a table copied into my Google Doc, I'd then look at one of the knowledge tasks, in this case certification requirements, recent flight experience, and record keeping, and then I would add the answers to whatever questions I could be asked about that particular knowledge task. I'd just keep on adding in answers to the questions that I could be asked about a given topic until I was satisfied that I had all the answers that I needed. Once I was done with the first table, I would just repeat the process over and over and over until all the tables and answers were in my Google document. And then that Google document became the sole source of all of the knowledge that I would need to pass the written exam and the knowledge test. And speaking of the knowledge test, the ACS doesn't help just with the knowledge areas. It also has a great impact on the practical test, in other words, the flying portion of your check ride. For example, in Area of Operation 5, we see that the Task A is steep turns. Want to know exactly how your performance will be assessed? Well, look at the skills portion. You can see exactly how you're supposed to perform the maneuver, as well as the scoring standards, which in the case of steep turns is plus or minus 100 feet, airspeed plus or minus 10 knots, bank angle plus or minus 5 degrees, and roll out on the entry heading plus or minus 10 degrees. All right, so let's wrap up with a quick summary here. So the ACS sets clear expectations of knowledge, risk management, and skill. It is a critical tool to help you to map out your study plan. And if you have questions or concerns about your ACS, definitely make sure that you ask your flight instructor. If you don't yet have a flight instructor, you can always leave me a question down in the comments below. I'm going to leave a link down in the video description to both the ACS as well as how you could get copies of my study notes if you don't want to create yours from scratch on your own. And to learn more about me and all of the other resources that I have available for you, please be sure and visit flywithtrent.com. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.